Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Jamie, and this will be your overview for May 2025. So we're going to start off with the astrology for the month, just because, well, it's everything. This is going to be a really amazing month. So we start off right now, May 1st through the 3rd, with Venus conjunct Neptune, and this is happening in Aries. Now, when these come together, they create harmony. So in this time, you should feel more compassionate for others and maybe even emotionally open to them, as this is a really good time to start new romances or to start a new creative inspiration. It can really help you to see beyond this constant reality that you've been locked in over, I would say, the last few months. On May 4th, Pluto will retrograde into Aquarius, and I think we're all pretty used to this energy. This happens for about 6 months, where Pluto goes retrograde every year, so this will happen until October. And in this time, you can expect to focus on life and the transformations that you've already made internally, helping to kind of shed and release any kind of subconscious clutter that you have going on. So a really great energy for clarity and, improvement. Mercury in Taurus. This will happen May 10th, and it'll encourage us to ground our thinking and, again, have mental clarity. So this will help us to really focus on long-term goals and security, because of course it's Mercury in Taurus. So long-term stability, future goals, a lot of thoughts, inspiration, and planning around this at this time. On May 12th, we have a full moon in Scorpio, and as the oracle here would suggest, it's time to release negativity. It's actually a great time to let any heaviness go and focus on just releasing whatever is not serving you. That is Scorpio energy. It's very transformative. This will not be an easy moon, especially if you're a water sign or a cardinal, or no, not even a cardinal, just a water sign. I think this will affect you really deeply on an emotional level. I think everyone will be more emotional, but this will affect you more deeply. But it'll also bring epiphanies, that clarity that you're looking for. In fact, the month of May is going to bring so much mental clarity that it's kind of sickening. But the trick to this moon is keeping it really real with yourself, where you need to make changes, what it is that you need to let go of to grow. And then you'll be able to kind of navigate whatever unfolds after that much more easily. So though this moon may be a little bit harsh, it's everything you need, I promise. On May 17th, Venus leaves its post-retrograde shadow phase, bringing a final resolution and conclusions to stirred relationships and feelings over the last 2 months. So finally, some conclusions and some stirred relationships. I think that everybody's been waiting on this. Venus is an awesome energy, of course, but this specifically is going to really bring harmony, or, for some people, it may be the disengaging of specific relationships. But this also can bring news of good luck and fortune, especially with finances. So for most people, both good things will be happening at the same time on this day. So mark May 17th on the calendar, because it's going to be an awesome day. On May 20th, the sun will enter Gemini. And this is a great time to focus on communication and working with our hands. Now remember that Gemini, as you can see in the card here, suggests is the twins. It's two separate parts of the self. There is the physical body and there is the ethereal body. And this is really what, Gemini energy feels like when the sun is in Gemini. It's a little self-oriented, but on the level of really figuring oneself out to become truly self-aware. But at the same time, this is a very communicative and social energy. So this will be you joining together with other people and finding your place in the world, not just based off of where you think you belong, but based off of how you are belonging to others. And it's going to be a really, good, light-hearted, fun time. On May 24th, we will experience Saturn in Aries. And this is a chapter of growth and self-mastery. So we'll actually be offered some new lessons in life, some new challenges, and these will be challenges directly to the ego, so that we can pay attention to where our ego lies, to correct it, to mature. So this will be a kind of challenging energy, but it'll be necessary for that next chapter to really kind of, work on the ego. So I like this energy, Saturn and Aries. It's always interesting. On May 25th, we have Mercury in Gemini, and this is just genius energy. This is quick thinking, just absolutely sharp. And this is like the perfect day for problem solving and communication. So any issues that you have in life may be completely solved on May 25th, period. This is the best thinking and communication that you'll probably experience for quite a while. So definitely plan any type of important like paperwork, documentations, things like that around this time where you'll be like really thinking perfect, or thinking clearly at least. On May 26th, we have a new moon in Gemini. And as the card would suggest here, communication is key. Now, this is not necessarily communication with one another. This is divine communication. This is ethereal. So this will help you to, see straight on your path, or if you're going in the right direction. So you can expect all kinds of signs and synchronicities on this day. It'll be pretty magical. Now, perhaps one of the best days we'll experience all year is May 29th through the 30th, the entire day. The sun will conjunct Mercury, and this is where we find inspiration. Now, in astrology, they call this the Mercury Cazimi. You'll have full mental clarity. You'll be able to sort through any type of kind of mental clutter that you've been experiencing. You'll actually start thinking totally differently, and you may even see new ways that you couldn't see before. Like any type of blockages will just sort of be cleared through full mental clarity. So this is all about, receiving clarity and figuring out the direction that you're supposed to go in next. It's going to be an awesome month. So okay, so of course I'm going to keep these out. I will grab a few more oracle just to clarify a couple of aspects here. Now, if you're completely new to tarot, just understand that not every Pisces reading will resonate with you. This is going to go over many different aspects, so there may be some parts of the spread that just don't have anything to do with you, and other parts definitely do have something to do with your life. Just take the ones that have something to do with you, okay? I'm also going to pull cards like King, Queen, Emperor, and Empress. Those cards describe a really specific personality, and they have nothing really to do with sex or gender. So if I pull, let's say, a Queen of Wands, I could definitely be talking about a guy. If you want to catch more readings, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, and it'll notify you every time I post. I also offer a membership, so if you're interested in something like that, you can click the join button. It'll take you to the membership tab and show you all the little perks of the channel. And I do offer private personals to my members. Now, in a general sense, we have solar power. I carry within me a solar power. For centuries, the sun has stood as a symbol of royalty, truth, and strength. Today, I walk in that purifying light and bask in its power. Today, I embody solar power, and this is the energy that's needed. Now, we have the Hierophant. It's in the reverse. This is Taurus energy, so this is definitely the sun in Taurus. Wanting you to kind of like think more practically. Now, of course, the Hierophant in the upright is doing things traditionally, being conventional. And in the reverse, obviously, it is the opposite of that. I think it's good to think differently and to live unconventionally as long as it's true to who you are. But this, unfortunately, is not true to who you are. You feel like it keeps leading you into maybe unfair situations, where you give and you give and you give, and you could feel like, you deal with people who gaslight you a lot. You never really are really sure, of people's intentions towards you. There could be even like paranoia towards people. It's hard to decide on who you can and cannot trust, in a general sense. So, this sounds kind of crazy, but this would kind of be like someone who gets deeply hurt in a romantic relationship, and so then they act like they never want a romantic relationship again. Perhaps they prefer fleeting, casual relationships when they know deep inside they're the type of person who wants to get married or be in a long-term relationship. That's a very confusing mixed signal to put out to the universe and to the people that you're looking to have romantic relationships with, right? It's really paying attention to how we may be misinterpreted, or we may put out like we have an intention different than it is, and it may attract the wrong type of people. Because we have to kind of make a decision here with the Two of Swords without all of the answers. And to do this, it's going to require this retreat energy that came out. It's time to disconnect from the world. And kind of really pay attention to, I think, one is the fear here. And two, what are we really aligning ourselves with? Because like a lot of the blockages that we're looking for here, we could be making sort of happen by, the example that I gave with a romantic relationship. If I met someone and I told them, look, I'm not looking for a relationship. I just want something that's fun for right now. Maybe later when I'm ready. And that person misinterprets that as, I just want to have sex right now. I'm not looking for anything serious. Even if we were, banging for 6 months, I don't expect you to be my boyfriend or girlfriend at some point. That might be what, that might be how it's misinterpreted. I feel like you have to be very clear and precise moving through the month of May because, you need to take a new direction here. You need to get clear on what that direction is. So I would say that there needs to be some solitude here and some clear direction making. Now, we already went over the astrology here, so there will definitely be clarity. You see this already right here. Things will change. Things will definitely change. But seeing the Two of Swords twice, this really is that need for mental clarity. Not being sure of what we're even looking for or what we really even want. And again, this is how we're presenting ourselves to other people and to the universe. Like, we're confused. We're not really sure what it is that we want. And that's going to also obviously challenge romantic relationships as the retreat card came out from the Love Oracle. I want to say that some of you have a lifestyle that actually affects your romantic relationships. Okay? I think that some of you, again, lead this kind of like unconventional lifestyle. You could like kind of like maybe party a lot, or just like, kind of be sort of extroverted. You like to go out and play. And of course, when we move into Gemini season, it's going to be time to do that for sure. But I think that you're actually not very comfortable socially. And so there's some insecurity there. And it leads to maybe like, the wrong idea about you with certain people too. Like, you could just not like judge people, and like, you could hang out with just about anybody and be friends with almost anyone. And while this is okay, as a single lifestyle, it may look kind of awkward to the people that you do bring or introduce around it. It may make you look kind of not stable, or like maybe not relationship material. So really think about that, like your lifestyle and how you're involving other people with it. You know what I mean? Like, like if I go to the bar a lot, and like every time that I meet a new person, I like them, and every time they come hang out, I'm like at the bar and I'm with my friends. Like, they may not actually want that. Not in some type of long-term relationship, or they may not even feel like they're actually connecting to me in any kind of way. Every time we meet up or link up, there's some type of drinking or something going on, Again, aligning yourself with what you're actually looking for. You could be meeting people, and you could sometimes even find people kind of controlling when they say, I don't want to go do that, or let's not go hang out with these people tonight, let's stay in or something. That's not what they're doing. They're just, like, I think it's sometimes can throw people off when someone has like that extremely extroverted lifestyle. And could you tone it down some and maybe actually connect and get to know someone when it comes to romantic relationships here? I think that it's kind of interesting, because it's like the people around you aren't really like the type of relationship that you want to get into, but at the same time, it's like you're expecting someone who would look at you the same type of way, to get into a relationship with you. It's something kind of like that. You could be blocking our own blessings here with this. Like, we could find people that are really like nurturing and caring, and they're looking for us to, excuse me, really like start something with them, and then it's like this lifestyle kind of gets in the way. I feel like I kind of brought up something like this recently, with I don't know which sign it was, but like these young-minded friends that you would have around you if you had a certain lifestyle when you're single, and then you get into a relationship and these people just be popping up at your house, or they're just like saying stupid shit on social media, that where it's like, you're not single anymore, they can't just say dumb shit like that, but they did, and it's going to cause a bunch of problems in relationships. And if you really think back, it's been dumb shit like that, So really getting more practical in the thought of romantic relationships and how you need to behave, and what the people or the person that you're trying to deal with, how they need to be able to behave in relationships realistically. Because I think that like the intentions and the ideas just kind of get like misunderstood or misconstrued by other people. What I really don't like to see, and I'm not here to be a bearer of bad news, don't worry, you'll clear all of this up and start making some changes by the end of the month for sure. Some of you are really, I don't know how to put the energy. I want to say like, not, you're not in a space where you feel stable, you know? And this is also showing up in these interpersonal relationships, the same ones that we just talked about, the friends that would just pop up out of nowhere and not respect, you know, your home or your relationship. The people that see on a social media site that you're clearly like with someone and they still say something stupid, you know, these types of people, you can't let them like linger around in life. I think that you have kind of had some weird friendships occur based off of these really unstable times in your life. There's no real commitment in the relationships. These people have some issues with the King of Swords in the reverse, the Two of Swords. They're just not, I think, not respectful people. You can't have them around if you're looking for profound change in life. Here, you're going to have to find a whole bunch of new friendships. You know, it's like you need to respect yourself by enforcing other people to respect you. There has to be boundaries in place with certain people in order to, you know, pull in what it is that you're looking for. I think some of you just don't, you had like this period where you didn't like to be alone. And so you were just kind of hanging out with people who really weren't the best of people. They may have to get cut off here. Again, there's Two of Swords. In order for some changes to take place. And I think this is in all of your relationships, you know, it's like you can't have less than honest, manipulative, kind of weird, tricky friends around your kids and your mom and shit, you know what I mean? It's like things like that, you know, like I think that there will be some huge relationship changes, maybe some epiphanies about who people really are and whether or not they can stay in your life or not for this next chapter here, and being really serious about this. Because we have music, there's melody to be heard in the deepest parts of the woods if only we listen. So I think you're going to be really listening to people's like true intentions, or really pulling back your energy this month and thinking about, you know, some of the people in your life and what role do they really play, and can you even trust them? With money, I don't like the energy, to be honest. Some of you work for somebody who's just dishonest, manipulative. Yeah, I feel like your money is not steady. It's kind of all over the place, but this is something that, you know, you stick with. This is like a place where, like, you know, I think even though things are all over the place, you just stay there, even though things are unfair. Ups and downs with the money, unfair management, unfair scheduling. This may be the season where you decide to change that. I think there could be also this epiphany here because, again, the full moon in Scorpio is going to have you being really real with yourself. And it's like, sure, this person's a scumbag, but like at the end of the day, I just keep coming to work, and I just need to change this pattern and everything will change. And it's true. I mean, like, there's certain places where it's like, no matter how much loyalty you hold to them, there's no loyalty to you. So it's all for nothing. And that is how you feel about things this month. And I do, you know, with the Wheel of Fortune here, like I do see you really starting to really look into how to change that, and, you know, looking at new places to work, things like that. You may be thinking of doing like completely changing paths, not even doing what you currently do whatsoever. Now, in the general advice, it really is saying, especially with money related things, you do have to also look into your lifestyle. Where are you spending the money? You know, how are you planning for your future with things? Are you really giving to like just the things that you need, and making sure that you're saving for when you know, want something bigger, or are you just kind of like spending it just as quickly as you get it? because some of you keep thinking that you're not making enough, but you sit down and really like look at where you're spending some money at. There could be some like ridiculousness to it, and you'd be like, this is the habit that I need to change. Because I see here financially, like you're just spending too much on like one item or something that is not even like good for you in any type of way. It's like, just something that you feel like you kind of need to cut out of your life in some type of way. And I see you getting really serious about this. And the advice is you can't continue to do things the way that you've always done them. This is contributing to the way you feel about yourself and how things are unfolding for you, especially in these like financial and practical senses, like relationships. So I think, the Six of Pentacles has been showing up, and that to me is really looking at like, what is fair, what isn't, what you should give to, what shouldn't, what's taking all your time and energy and money, and what, how to balance all of this out. And I think you might see that you're your own worst enemy here in some type of way, and you may really decide this is the time to cut some bad habits, to stop playing fucking games with people. Like you could get real cutthroat, real with yourself. And it's good because it's going to really, like I think at the end of the month, you're going to start to really make all of these decisions, and from this very rational, logical place that you haven't been in for a minute, with the Hierophant in the reverse, the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse. So I don't see it being like an easy month, especially with employment, but I think mentally things are going to become a lot more clear than they have. And definitely certain relationships in your life will be cut out. All right, I will see you guys next week.